Okay, so second step now in my thought process when I'm thinking about what I'm thinking about when I'm confronted with a model on the model and stand is three shapes make up the form. Now, basically, what you want to think about are organic shapes with rounded edges. Organic just meaning no square 90-degree angles. So rectangles, triangles. So basically, some of the shapes that I would utilize in this would be, an organic rectangle. An oval, of course, an organic triangle, rounded corners, all, different shapes like that, squares, triangles. But basically, you're going to find a lot of ovals, a lot of triangles, and a lot of organic rectangles. So basically, there's tons of them on there, but you want to try to get the strongest three that come out, to the surface. So the one that I get over and over, thanks from all of my students after they've graduated during their thesis projects or even in class, the first one that's the most important is this peanut shape. Okay, so you could do an oval and you can do a circle, but combine them now. So and again, we're going back to the core of the body. So our first shape is going to be the peanut shape because that is going to house the most important things, the rib cage and the pelvis, and it gives you a starting point. And when you do this peanut shape, one part of it should wrap into the form, and that's usually a rib. All right, and that's a good way to start to show some volume. I'm getting ahead of myself, but you don't want to do the peanut shape this way. You want to do it with a line that wraps in and shows that peanut shape is round. Okay, so now without over talking that's really super important, and I could talk for like an hour on the peanut shape and how to do like a gazillion different poses, starting with just that and then integrating the rib cage and the pelvis in a more advanced way. But let's move on. So now our next shape, and again, we're really kind of fitting a whole bunch. Think about this technique, three shapes, as this is like almost like a closet to put all body parts into, and it's a way to simplify all the different body parts versus drawing one leg and then the other leg. All right, so our next shape would be, and you're gonna have to go with me on this one, it's gonna be kind of a triangle. All right, so I drew both legs together to the toes, bottom of the feet right over here to this heel, up to the butt. So that's another shape that houses those legs. All right, now within that shape you've got a million other ones, but remember, we're just going for the most primitive, and we really want to try to touch the edge of the body where we can. So I'm touching the edge of the toes, I'm touching the edge of the heel, and I'm touching kind of the edge of the butt, and I'm wrapping around. So there's a little overlap. Now I do see up here another triangle. So we're going to go from the bottom of the arm, the arm's a little bit lower than what I have, to this elbow, up this forearm, and we're going to kind of pull from the hand wrist area. And so now I've got my third primitive shape, and that's going to be an organic triangle. Do you see that? So we've got one, that's our peanut shape. We've got two. This one, you're probably scratching your head if you haven't done this technique before and saying, wait a second, I don't see no triangle there. But you got to really force this, and you got to not try to be perfect with it. There is a triangle there, trust me. You can also argue with me that, Matt, wait a second, I kind of see a sideways long triangle like this, and you keep breaking it down afterwards, no doubt about it. But and then we're going to house this arm, the upper arm, the lower arm, the other arm, and her head within this one shape. And then you go back into this one shape and you kind of tweak it all. All right, so if we kind of come right back over here to this little thing, I hope that you can see it on your monitor. This is my peanut shape, so I can come on in right into this rib cage, and then come on down the front to the front of the pelvis, the pubic bone over here, and then wrap around the butt. So that's my crunch that comes right on in, that little wraparound line, little oblique area. So that's my peanut shape. Then I can think about my upper legs together are going to make an upside down kind of teardrop shape, or you can call it an organic triangle. And then we're going to come down one more time. We've got another triangle over here, round the edges a little bit, and then we can say we've got a weird kind of funky shape over here for this arm and the negative space. Okay, and then we're just going to do, let's eliminate the two ovals for the skull and let's turn that into another peanut shape. It almost looks like an alien or some kind of sports helmet, and wrap around where the eyebrows are. Okay, I made that a little bit tall, but I think that you get the idea. So it's like 1, 2, 3 basic shapes make up that form. Okay, so I can't live with myself if I make that too tall. It's going to look weird. All right, so now 3 shapes make up the form. Now let's move on to the next technique, which is called angles and containment system, which is very similar to this.